Hello friends, first of all, a lot of wishes and greetings on our Republic Day today. It can be noted that the framers of Indian Constitution deliberately chose to adopt a democratic republic instead of only a democratic or only a republican state or form of government. What does it mean and why did they decide to do so? Today we are going to discuss and understand the meaning of the term republic and also see how it's different from the democracy, that is the term democracy. In fact, in general conversation, both the terms republic and democracy are used interchangeably to mean the same thing. There is a certain level of similarity between the two. However, both have significant differences too. Let's try to make sense of it, which obviously requires us to get back to ancient history. Okay then, where does the term republic come from? Friends, you will see that the word republic comes from a Latin word res publica, which means public matters or public affairs. The modern meaning of republic has developed in reference to the constitution of ancient Roman Republic, which lasted from the overthrow of kings in 5th century BC to the establishment of the empire in 27 BC. The Roman constitution had the following important structures. Number 1, a senate which composed of wealthy aristocrats enjoying significant amount of powers. Second, several popular assemblies of all free citizens possessing the powers to elect magistrates and pass laws. And third, a series of magistracies with varying types of civil and political authority. So, the republic had rested on the 4 clear principles. 1. Divided authority instead of one center of power. Second, a short tenure of office for the magistrates. Third, the final decision on important matters of state by the people. Fourth, the limited military powers to any magistrate in the city. Friends, now you must have realized that a republic came to be known as a form of government based on consent of the people and operated by representatives elected by the people. The supreme power rested in the body of citizens entitled to vote and was exercised by representatives chosen directly or indirectly by them. It is interesting to note that even in the Indian context, a renowned scholar A.S. Altekar, in his State and Government in Ancient India, observes that historical evidence point towards the existence of Gana states in ancient India as republics. However, scholars differ on the exact nature of the ancient Indian republics. As we turn to the modern period, it can be observed that most democracies in the world today label themselves as republics or democratic republics. However, it must be noted that all democracies are not republics and all republics are not democracies. For example, the UK is a democracy but not republic. Similarly, former Soviet Socialist Republic consisted of 15 republics but was not democratic. Moreover, the current communist states of China and Cuba describe themselves as republics, but they are not democratic. Now you must have realized that a republic and democracy are not one and the same, rather one can be conceived without the other. As societies in modern era organize themselves politically, a particular tradition emerged which is known as Republicanism. This tradition of Republicanism as a political tradition focuses on the following 4 essential elements. Number 1, freedom as non-domination. Here, freedom is understood not just as a free space, but not being subject to arbitrary will of anybody, even a benevolent one. Second, civic virtue, which entails active citizen engagement and concern for public good, are crucial to prevent corruption. And here corruption is defined as prioritizing private interest over the public interest. Number 3, participation. A Republican tradition emphasizes the significance of public participation in public decision-making processes. Thus, it demands an active citizenry. And then comes the fourth one, that is the institutional design, which emphasizes government based on the separation of powers and checks and balances to prevent concentration of powers, a core concern since the ancient Rome. Let us now turn to the interesting aspect of the discussion, that is the comparison between republic and democracy. Both republic and democracy provide a political system in which citizens are represented by their elected representatives. Both refer to a government in which supreme power resides in its citizens. Now let us look into the differences. The first, democracy comes from the Greek word demokratia, which means rule by the people. It referred to the direct democracy as it existed in ancient Greek city-state of Athens. The majority had a right to vote in ancient Greek democracy. Whereas, republic comes from the Latin word res publica, as we saw a while ago, which means public affairs or public matters. The second difference, in modern form of democracy, the majority holds ultimate, often unlimited power. As a result, the rights of minorities can be at risk in democracy. But in republic, power rests with people, which is exercised by elected representatives under constitution. Here, individuals have rights which are safeguarded by the constitution. These rights are not subject to majority votes nor government legislation. The government cannot infringe but have to protect these rights. The third, thus, democracy is known for rule of majority, whereas a republic is known for rule of law. Republic, being a limited government, guarantees that the rights of minorities are protected. The fourth, in a democracy, the head of the state can be monarch, like in UK. However, in a republic, the head of the state has to be elected. After getting to know the difference, let us now turn to our own context, obviously the Indian context. Our Constituent Assembly initially took the view that since the word republic covers democracy, it may be unnecessary to use both the terms as democratic republic in our constitution. Even the objective resolution proposed by Nehru initially included the term republic alone, but not democracy, thus suggesting that republic covered democracy. However, the members of assembly like K.T. Shah argued that a republic could be undemocratic, that is totalitarian. Hence, it was necessary to explicitly include democracy to ensure rule of people and not just a non-monarchical rule. Finally, the Constituent Assembly therefore adopted democratic republic to signify a state with an elected head and not a monarch, and also to ensure that no undemocratic republic emerges. It should be noted thus that the framers of our constitution look beyond the narrow historical definitions of ancient Greek or Roman republics and decided to establish a modern democratic republic distinct from monarchies, autocratic rule, or totalitarian systems. Through republic, India announced its commitment to completely break the links with an external imperial monarch and also existing and future claims of local rajas, that is the princely states, to power on the basis of inheritance. Also, the idea of the republic conveys that decisions shall be made not by a single individual but citizens after due deliberation. Since an undemocratic republic is conceivable, a separate commitment to democratic institutions is exhibited. Democracy brought to our constitution the idea that citizenship is made available to everyone regardless of caste, religion, race, sex or educational background. Democracy thus makes republic inclusive in nature. On the other hand, a republic imagines citizens who are constantly vigilant, who acts as a watchdog and monitor their representatives and government decision-making process. By going beyond mere counting of heads, that is the majority principle, a republic brings free public discussion to our democratic constitution and gives depth to it. Thus, framers deliberately chose to adopt democratic republic to ensure rule of people based on not the whims of the majority, but the rule of law.